What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and a happy new year to all of you guys out there. Even more happier made by coming into 2021, not only seeing the back of 2020, but the year does finally end in one. Is a trophy coming to White Hart Lane this year, Sim?
Come on, you know it. You know, when it's lucky for Spurs when the year ends in one. It has to be. It's destined. Jose is going to break our duck, and I can't wait for it. Come on.
All right, trophy Jose on his route, on his way. The press conference has been made. Obviously, we're playing Leeds tomorrow at 12:30 kickoff. You want to run us through the team news?
Yeah, some good news with Lo Celso and Vinicius. Sorry, Lo Celso and Bale probably still out because they haven't been mentioned and they've been ruled out for a few weeks. But good news.
Actually, it said on the Spurs website on the team news that they're both definitely out.
Oh, there you go. They're both definitely out. And then Lucas and Vinicius are back in, which is really good news. It gives us more options, gives us another striker, and yeah, I'm happy with that, and I'm happy that we have more options. And they're not. I guess we don't really know if it was COVID, but we can only assume. Yeah. So that's good news.
Yeah. So, seeing as the game got cancelled the other day, the Fulham game, do you reckon that plays into our hands a bit? Because a bit of extra rest as opposed to other teams not having that rest.
It does for now. It does for now. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, because the Premier League have a serious issue on their hands in terms of scheduling. Very, very serious. If any more games are cancelled, I don't know how they're going to cope. Right now, literally, Spurs pretty much don't have a free week until now to the end of the season. So, especially if we keep progressing as we are in the Cups. So, at the moment, the Fulham game has to be scheduled like it was early in the season. Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday or Sunday. That's the only way we can really fulfill these fixtures at the moment. So imagine there's more delays on other fixtures, then the Premier League in real trouble. So for now, look, we've got the extra rest days. Harry Kane is back in the team, who probably might have missed the game if it was playing on Wednesday. So in the short term, it benefits us. And also gives us a chance to get some players back like Lucas and Vinicius. But in the long term, we'll have to wait and see, because I'm not so sure.
All right, well, let's get into the lineup. I think it's going to be a pretty easy one to predict this game, seeing as I think if the Fulham game went ahead, it would have been a bit more difficult to predict this lineup.
And also, given the fact we have Brentford and then Marine after this, so we know we're definitely going to play our strongest.
Well, we need to go super full strength for Brentford, that's for sure.
We will, but we can rest players against Marine. So we know we can go full strength in these two games and give the players a rest before the Villa game next week.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get into it. We're going to go for a 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal is obviously Hugo Lloris. Right back, we're going to go for Serge Aurier, seeing he hasn't played in a while, has he?
I think Doherty's played the last two, hasn't he? So I think Aurier comes back in. I don't think Doherty's done enough in the last two games to make Mourinho think that Aurier isn't in our strongest 11, especially against a team like Leeds. I think you need someone with a bit more dynamic like Aurier.
All right, so Hugo in goal, Aurier right back, left back. We're going to go for Sergio Reguilon.
Despite having a good game last time.
Yeah, he did, but we're going to need his pace here for this game, aren't we?
Yeah, because we look as we know how Leeds like to play. They like to very much like Pochettino did for Spurs. Very high, intense pressing, leave a lot of space in behind, and if you can exploit it, you're going to get a lot of joy. So. They have worse players than Pochettino had at Spurs, so there's going to be a lot more space for us to exploit. So we need the pace of players like Aurier and Reguilon for sure. Yeah,
I mean, Pochettino never really had a good record against Jose or teams that play that kind of football, did he?
Against Jose himself, I think he didn't have the worst record, because I remember we beat them at Wembley 2-0.
In the big games, though, we used to lose to them, didn't we?
Yeah, when it really mattered, we didn't get the result. It's true. Like the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah. Let's go to the centre backs. It's just going to be Toby and Dyer, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe you'd think possibly Sanchez comes in because Leeds are just so dynamic and sharp that maybe he might think that you need a bit more pace, but I don't think he will. I think we'll play this low block, and I think we'll have Dyer and Toby shackling Bamford, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the low block, there's no need for that pace down there. We just need to be clever in how we defend.
Yeah, true.
So the back four there, as you can see it on the screen, Lloris, Aurier, Toby, Dyer and Reguilon. Obviously, the general Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the middle there, and he's going to play alongside Moussa Sissoko, isn't he, Sim?
Yep. I think so, because they're going to have to destroy all the build-up play that Leeds like to do. One thing I do worry about a bit is we're going to have to rely quite a lot on very quick transitions in this game, and whether I know Højbjerg has a good passing, but whether Sissoko is able to get the ball out of his feet and find a quick pass in transition to our forward players, because we need it to happen quickly to exploit the space. Otherwise, they're going to get back in position. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think that's the way to go, because I think we're going to need a lot of energy in that centre, of putting out a lot of fires.
Would you put Winksy in for this one if we need that?
I said against Fulham, I would.
Hasn't been that great, has it?
Huh?
His quick passing hasn't been that great this season.
Well, if you look at the stats, actually, against Wolves, I think it was, he was our best player on the park in getting the ball into the final third. So I think that went under the radar. But I think I said against Fulham I would have played Winks. I think there's more of a reason to play Sissoko in this one, because I feel like Winks is more likely to get overrun than someone like Sissoko is. And I think the way Leeds like to play, you need players with the energy of Sissoko. The only thing I worry about Sissoko, as I said, is the quick transitions. But one thing I think he could do well in is he's quite a decent ball carrier. Sissoko, he can dribble the ball forward quite well, and I think he might be able to do that against Leeds. So I think Sissoko is probably just about a better fit. But I wouldn't be unhappy if Winks started.
And you talk about quick transitions. This man Tanguy Ndombele is going to be very important, isn't he, on Sunday?
Very important.
Tomorrow, sorry.
Yeah. The way Leeds like to play, he's going to be vital, because they like to. The way they press, there's such a big element to their play that a press-resistant player like Ndombele is vital in these kind of games to kind of break their lines and exploit the space on the wings. So he's been on fine form recently. He was absolutely sensational against Wolves. So I think, obviously, look, he has to start. There's no doubt. There's
no one else.
Yeah, unless you're putting Dele in, you've got to start him.
Yeah, it looks as Dele's set to be off this January, though, so I doubt they'll play Dele. Left-hand side, obviously, Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
Up front, obviously, Harry Kane. Both of them are going to be vital. They need to get back to form, don't they, both of them?
Yeah, last couple of games haven't, probably even more than that, maybe 3-4 games haven't been at their lethal best. But I think that's more to do with a lack of help than themselves, I think. Because, their form at the beginning of the season was always a bit unsustainable, I felt, because it was so good. But you're going to need help at some point. You can't do it all by yourself for the whole season. So them two definitely need help from our other forward players. But yeah, look, obviously they started this game. We need to get back to winning ways. We can't take it any other way. We have to go full strength. So obviously they play.
Now the right-hand side is an interesting one. For me personally, obviously Bale's out. So you've got to say it's a toss-up between probably Eric Lamela, Steven Bergwijn, Lucas Moura even.
Yeah, he's back in the squad, isn't he, Lucas?
For me personally, I start Steven Bergwijn this game and bring on Lamela to kind of close out the game with half an hour, 20 minutes to go. Which way do you go?
I agree with you, because I think, especially with how Leeds like to play, we definitely need to be exploiting that space behind the fullbacks who like to press very high. And Son and Bergwijn, we're going to need as much pace as possible in the forward line there, on the wings. So as much as I like Lamela and I would have started him against Fulham, I think Bergwijn's definitely more suited to this encounter, because if there's only one player with pace for Leeds to worry about, that's very easily shut down. And then all of a sudden on the right, if we start someone like Lamela, then it's easy for them to allow Lamela the ball, because he won't have that real pace to hurt them on the counter, and they'll know they can really push up. But if we have Son and Bergwijn, they know that it gives them something to think about going the other way in terms of pace. And with Kane feeding the ball to them, I think that's the best way to go. And with the last time Bergwijn played, right, was Liverpool. And I think against Leicester and against Wolves, I think our attack looked better before.
Yeah,
I think Bergwijn's been dropped past 2 games, but I think it's been to the detriment of the team. I think even though Bergwijn himself, you could argue, maybe wasn't having the best of times, even though he
was doing a great job for the side, though.
Yeah, he was doing a really good job for the team. And since he's come out, I feel I don't know about you, but I feel like we've lost a bit.
I'm not sure if that's down to Bergwijn or just down to us as a team.
I don't know. Look, when Bergwijn was in the team, at least you can say that we were always a threat on the counter, and we had a bit more balance about us. I felt against Leicester and against Wolves. I felt like we didn't give the opposition anywhere near enough to worry about.
I agree with you.
And, at least against Liverpool, against Palace, we created chances in those games and probably should have won both of them. But against Leicester and Wolves, we didn't create much. So I think we get Bergwijn back in.
Yeah, if you're comparing Bergwijn, Lucas, and Lamela in terms of playing a team that is going to come out at us and give us space in behind, Lucas doesn't look for that space in behind enough. Nowhere
he wants ball to feet, doesn't he?
He never likes to do that. Lamela as well, he also likes kind of ball to feet and doesn't really look to get in behind too much. He likes to provide those balls to get in behind. And Bergwijn is really the only option for me that can get in behind it out of those three. So, that's the lineup we're going to go for. Let me run through it with you one more time. So that's Hugo Lloris in goal, Aurier right back, Reguilon left back, Dyer and Toby in the centre-back positions, Højbjerg, Sissoko, Tongi and Dombele, Son on the left, Bergwijn on the right, Harry Kane up top. What score prediction are you going for?
I said 3-1. I'm going to stick with 3-1. I think Leeds are good enough and sharp enough and good enough form probably to get a few chances and a goal in this one. But I feel like we should have superiority and going the other way and should be able to exploit. Look, Mourinho's going to have a plan for this. So I'm expecting us to get a few goals in this one. There has to be a few goals in this for us. There has to be.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of space they leave it behind, look at United scoring 6 goals against them. There seems to be a lot of goals in Leeds games. I mean, there has been the odd 0-0 draw against Arsenal and here and there, but as a rule this season, it's pretty much there's been a lot of goals in Leeds games. I'm going to go, I think it's going to be a big scoreline. I think it's going to be something like 4-2 or something like that, 4-1, 3-1, 3. I'm going to go 4-2 just for a bit of shits and giggles.
Exactly.
New Year's Day,
start of the year right.
I remember how on New Year's Day once we beat Chelsea 5-3 or 5-2, was it?
Mourinho was manager of Chelsea.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a big scoreline. Pochettino, that was like the emergence of Pochettino that game. But look, it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. 12:30 kickoff. 12:30 kickoffs and Spurs don't usually go that well. Don't usually have that many goals in it, but that one against Chelsea was an early. No, it was a late kickoff. Yeah, it was a late kickoff. Anyway, I'm going 4-2. My brother's going 3-1. Let me know in the comment section below what predicted scoreline you're going for. Let me know if you agree with our lineup. If you don't agree, let me know your lineup in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,
you Spurs.